Las Vegas for where a bunch of the tournaments are. The WAC Tournament is out in Las Vegas. Always a good time, especially I think it's in 2 different sites. That's very intriguing. If you notice on the bracket for this one, there is a big time advantage for the 1 and 2 seeds and the 3 and 4, as it kind of, look, I like a lot of conferences that help out their 1s and their 2s, and this conference certainly does so, as the 1s and the 2s only have to win 2 games in order to get the championship, and so I think that's a big advantage. And you notice in the WAC Tournament odds, Mexico State's the favorite. Grand Canyon's up there. Seattle, the 2 seed, not as high. They're 3rd there. So make sure to check out the odds and shop around if you're certainly interested. Definitely think there's a sleeper worth looking at here. We'll get into that in just a moment. The 1 seed, New Mexico State, 24-6, 13-4 in conference. They've lost 2 of their last 3 going into this one, so that's a bit of a concern, as well as their free throw shooting, just 66.2% from the line. And look, it's something that's certainly a concern for me when it comes to teams down the stretch. They're 3rd from 2-point land, 5th from 3-point land, and it's not the statistics we use for these conferences are only in conference play because that's the most representative numbers that you can find. But it's the Aggies defense, 3rd against the 2, 5th against the 3. Their conference losses, they got blown out at Sam Houston State. They lost by 4 at Utah Valley. They lost by 2 at Chicago State, 61-59, and they lost by 2 at home to Stephen F. Austin. So this is where those close losses, the poor free throw shooting comes into play. I like the Aggies. I do. Losing to Chicago State's a little odd, but they certainly are a veteran bunch. So that's why they're the 1 seed in this conference. The 2 is Seattle, a very intriguing team. They've got a very good backcourt, 14-4 in conference, and they went 6-2 down the stretch. Their offense, well, there's some good things and there's some bad things. Best free throw shooting team at 78.7% in conference play, but 12th from 2-point land, 46.3%. They're 7th from 3-point land, so they need to get to the line to have some success. Their defense, good against the 2, the best against the 2, actually 7th against the 3. Their losses, they lost by 12 at Grand Canyon. A lot of teams lose at Grand Canyon. They were swept by New Mexico State, losing by 15 at New Mexico State, by 13 at home, and they lost by 15 at Utah Valley. This is why I don't think there's much value in the 2 seed here. The team I really like is Stephen F. Austin, and they've won 10 in a row entering this one. They're 14-4 in conference overall. They're the best 2-point offense. They're the best offensive rebounding team. They force a ton of turnovers. They split with New Mexico State, and they lost their only game to Seattle. But the one concern for Stephen F. Austin is they've got this game against Abilene Christian, most likely. They beat them twice in the regular season. The cliche says it's hard to beat a team 3 times. They're really close. But remember, Stephen F. Austin last year had a really good team, but they could not play in their postseason tournament. I think they get some retribution here. I think the value is with Stephen F. Austin here. Either them or New Mexico State is the favorite, but I really like the Lumberjacks in the WAC. Check out my work, SportsMemo.com, going on a solid pace here as we approach the NCAA Tournament. I am Mid-Major Matt, signing off.